Now you attended Pat Riley's end of the season presser as he does every year.
Yeah.
What is the vibe you got from Pat Riley in terms of his future? Like, how much longer do you think he's doing this? Like, does he seem revigorated? Because we thought a couple years ago that maybe he's done the end of the road, and then all of a sudden he felt revigorated. He got Jimmy, and they went to the finals last year and all that. What kind of vibe did you get from Pat Riley about how much longer he's going to do this?
I think he's still got a few years left, to be honest with you. Like, he's not gonna show any obvious sign of weakness. I think he's at a point where he's polished enough and aware enough that even when he's on a Zoom call, something he's unusual, kind of very unfamiliar with, he still is not going to show any overt sign of weakness. But to me, I get the vibe that he's still in it for a long time, that he wants to continue to turn this team around. And again, I think they feel indebted to Jimmy, and they promised him a championship when he signed that 4-year deal. And I think they'd like to deliver on that promise. And so whatever it's going to take to make sure they can put this team in a position to compete for a title, he's going to try and do. Now, I mean, again, it takes two to tango, so he has to find a willing partner. You know that Pat's history is always going to be, one that, again, tries to acquire a big name in order to make this a championship caliber level team. But I just don't know how realistic that is. He loves the pursuit of those players. He loves to be engaged in that. And he loves seeing the guys on this roster, continue to develop. I think he's a big fan of Kendrick Nunn and Duncan and Tyler, and I think he wants to see them thrive. But I think he's also realistic enough to say, you know what, if they have to go elsewhere in order to find their pot of gold, go ahead. And he'll find somebody else, because that's just who he is. So I think that's still part of it, is that he wants to bring a championship to Jimmy, and he'll stick around until he can get that done. So their next title, I could see him finally trying to step away from that. I think last year's finals run, not necessarily a fluke again, but it was something unexpected. They did not think internally that they were going to be able to coalesce this well, this quickly, and go all the way to the finals. And plus, nobody saw COVID happening even early in the season. Nobody saw a hiatus. Nobody saw a bubble. I mean, it was just a very strange time, obviously. It still is. And I think Pat just kind of wants to get it back, right? Like, he wants to run it back. He wants to be able to feel that juice again. So to me, he's got a few years left.
And he's only 76.
I mean,
he's only 76.
He's also done it right. Like, he's 76, but you saw a younger guy in Danny Ainge kind of burn out. And you wonder what the hell was going on there, where age, Ainge couldn't handle it, even though he's younger than Riley. Riley, I think, conversely, like, he has such a good team around him, he doesn't have to be as active as day to day. And look, before the pandemic, if they were practicing at American Airlines Arena, there's this table that they have in the practice arena, and it's Mickey Harrison, it's Pat Riley, it's Andy. The whole crew's there. They're just watching, interacting. Spoke comes by there after practices and talks to Pat for a little bit and kind of, give him his input and stuff like that. So he still loves this. Like, I think he really still loves being around the guys and being around the coaching, just everything. Like, he loves every aspect of the game. So he's still young at heart, if nothing else.